there is this debate that has been going on in Poland at least since 1989, at least in public since 1989 and the fall of communism, whether this symbol of Soviet power should be torn down or not. There is a bit of a precedent as during the partitions, the Soviets built an enormous Orthodox church on what is today Piłsudski Square. And the Poles, after regaining independence, they quickly tore it down. It was enormous, but not as big as the Palace of Culture. The costs of tearing it down would be...
The Palace of Culture, of course, is the way the sort of footprint in the city took the whole heart of that part of the city. Streets disappeared.
Yes.
Or, streets like Chmielna sort of stops, and then several hundred meters further on it restarts. But it's been interrupted by this huge presence. Those that don't live in Warsaw might not use it and simply just go around it, but those that want to take a shortcut, it's always possible to just go straight through the building in case you want to save a few hundred meters. So that is one advice I might have for people. Even I hadn't realized that.
Yes, but right now the building, it certainly needs a cleaning. That is for sure. If it's going to stay up, then definitely it should be taken back to this previous white color.
And I remember when they restored the clock at the top of it, which sort of made it less aggressive somehow, where it had a little clock face at the top. Well, it's quite a big clock face, obviously.
Yes.
But it sort of took the horror away from the building, I think. It made it more human.
Absolutely. I think after a cleaning, it might actually look quite good. And as I mentioned, the costs of raising it to the ground would be huge. Then there's a risk that there would be simply a gaping wound, so to say, that the area wouldn't be rebuilt for many years either. And this is maybe something that most people don't really think about, but after the war in Ukraine, it might even serve some defensive purpose. There is enormous underground tunnels that are connected to the building. It isn't one of these just glass and metal buildings.
No,
it is a massive structure
built,
that would be very difficult to take down, and it could even be a strong point if necessary.
Yes, well, I think it is really, there's enough destruction in the world without destroying. I think what you should do is beautify the area around it. To the north, that area could be turned into quite a nice, but it's already green, but it could be made quite a nice little urban park.
Absolutely.
They've built, of course, to the east.
A monstrosity.
A monstrosity. The Museum of Modern Art, which is an absolute horror of a building.
Well, it had to be built in the style of modern art, so I guess the art inside is similar to.
Yeah, it is such a shame. Just these rather two ugly, white, like two shoeboxes, one on top of the other.
Yes.
But rather less attractive than the average shoebox.
Yeah, unfortunately. The site had great potential. On the other side of Jerusalem Avenue, there is this row of old buildings with great architecture, and potentially something could have been recreated in a similar style on the other side of the street. This is naturally where right now we have Warszawa Śródmieście, the train station. But something could have been built on top of it, and then the location where they have built the Museum of Modern Art now is also, previously it was a big vast empty area that was also had a lot of potential, and something could have been built there, but now it has been slightly ruined. So maybe instead of the discussions of whether the Palace of Culture should be raised to the ground within a few years, then maybe somebody will reassess the decision to build that type of museum. But on the other hand, we don't have that much money to make such decisions right now, but maybe for the future.
Talking of urban reconstruction, of course, the plan to rebuild the Saski Palace. Right,
oh yes,
in the center there.
This is another empty area that has been empty since the times of the Warsaw Uprising, when this Saxon palace was again razed to the ground by the Germans as punishment against the Poles. A decision has finally been taken, and they have now started digging up the foundations of the building, and it is quite a time-consuming project. It will probably take 10 years or so before we see the building not even in a finished state, but at least closing in on being in a finished state.
Adam, as usual, the clock in the corner of the room is showing that we've run out of time, but we'll pick it up next time, so thank you. There we are. I've had to interrupt Adam almost in mid-sentence, but fear not. If you join us next time, as we hope you will, we'll pick up the story and continue our examination of the history and modern development of Warsaw. Thank you for watching.